Welcome mates, I'm BloodThirstyLord, but you can call me Lordy, and today we're back on Gotham Knights with a new update highlighting new DLC being leaked, the STARRO boss fight, raids, and also heroic assault details, which we'll be talking about in this video, highlighting the true endgame of Gotham Knights. So you mates do not want to miss out on this episode. Make sure to click the subscribe button and also the bell notification button with all notifications on to keep up to date, and also press that join button to become a member on the channel. So without further ado, let's get straight into this. So Gotham Knights Twitter did tweet out this for the newest update. Hey Knights, a new patch is available for console with more fixes for bugs and stability issues. A PC patch will be released next week. You can read the full details below in the patch notes, which we're obviously going to jump into, so let's jump into that. So the first part of the console patch notes are general changes fixed for Cosmic Bat Cycle colorway not being unlocked properly, rewards fixed for the Historia collectibles, tracking fixed for Batarang collectibles, and community messages fixed for proper localization, and the stability of the game on consoles. Crash fixes have been addressed to a certain degree. So those are the changes that happened recently in today's update on Gotham Knights. But with that update, a bit of information leaked out, and that was the idea of a new villain arising into Gotham Knights. Who else but STARRO? STARRO has been leaked into the gameplay of Gotham Knights by appearing in the villain tab of Gotham Knights, which highlights all the major villains of the game. STARRO is there now. It can appear on majority of the consoles and platforms, so keep in mind that it's there on some devices and not there on others, but it was there and maybe got hotfixed at this current time. But if you go there, you'll be able to see that STARRO is part of that list, and it does have quite interesting characteristics. STARRO is also highlighted in other films like Suicide Squad Reboot and also in the comics, so if you don't know the character, that's maybe a good way to understand who the character is, who the villain is, and what STARRO does, because there's a lot of mind control aspects to STARRO's kit, and it's kind of interesting to see how that dynamic could be played here, because introducing a character like this means there's a guaranteed boss fight. Especially in that major villain tab, we have the other major villains, which usually have case files, that leads to the possibility of a series of missions being added into the game as DLC for those boss fight encounter against STARRO, and be able to complete those missions to get extra lore and see different changes occur in the map. This could be very interesting. The new factions that are also mind control units, or mind control elements that affect other factions currently that are in Gotham City. That would be kind of interesting to see how STARRO affects them, but also affects us and our gameplay, and how we have to counter the mind control aspect of STARRO and what happens to the people around us. There's going to be so much story details to this. I'm very interested to see what the possibilities are, because the game has such a great foundation to plug something like this in and have a ripple effect from start to finish of the gameplay experience within Gotham Knights. Obviously not affecting the main story, but a further addition that complements the main story. That'll be amazing to see. Alongside that, there is a description for STARRO, which is a member of the dangerous alien species, the Star Conquerors. STARRO is equipped with the vast psychic powers, as well as the ability to spawn smaller, parasitic clones of itself that attach to living beings, giving it full control of their motor functions. Using this combination, STARRO travels to various planets, gaining control over entire species to add to its hive mind. Looks like a big starfish. That's the idea. So big starfish, eye in the center, controls everything around it, creates a hive mind, and pretty much a hive mind is essentially connecting everything to itself, and then has pretty much full control. That's the idea. It's a very cool character. Then you have other villains like Brainiac in the DC universe that takes planets and also adds it to his collection, which is kind of cool to see, and seeing this level of degree of it being a massive change in the gameplay experience could be really, really interesting. Because STARRO will have this ripple effect in Gotham City. I believe that will be the case, and that'll be amazing to witness and be part of. STARRO is also classified as the first in-game raid for Gotham Knights, and these raids can go in any direction. Right now, a raid usually in other games is one event where people go there and fight a boss. So that could be the STARRO boss fight raid, and it could be a repeatable boss in the game where you can go there multiple times as a solo player or in a two-player co-op experience to defeat that boss. Or this could be what we were highlighting already, being a boss fight that's connected to a case file, which you go through a series of missions, complete them, whilst also having STARRO faction side missions as well present in Gotham City. Or it could be part of the Heroic Assault game mode that will be coming out towards the end of this month. That could be a good possibility, since it's the next form of confirmed DLC that hasn't been linked in any sort of way, that raid could be a Heroic Assault game mode raid. That's what it could be and classified as that. And if you're unsure what the game mode is, we'll highlight right now. So this game mode is a upcoming gameplay mode that is separate from the main story campaign. The standalone game mode does support up to 4 players in online co-op and provides a dedicated arena-like environment with objectives to complete and enemies to defeat on each floor 30 floors in total. So this seems to be a bit of a time consumption game mode, maybe around 10 to 20 minutes, depending on how many floors you have to complete and with 4 players, and how many enemies are spawning on each floor. That's be something to consider when in this game mode. So that's kind of cool. So 4-player online co-op, standalone, separate from the main campaign, where boss fight like STARRO could be a big part of this gameplay. So that's something to keep in mind. This will be available on November 29th, 2022 as a free update for all Gotham Knight owners, and alongside that, this is separate from the main campaign. So there might not be much of a connection if they do STARRO here compared to having STARRO available in the main story campaign. So I feel like there should be kind of a bit of everything here. Maybe STARRO affects both sides. The Heroic Assault game mode side being a 4-player multiplayer experience, and also the 1 to 2 player experience they have currently in Gotham Knights. I think that'd be really nice to see a huge ripple effect in the game where this big boss fight, this big villain is affecting the game on such a drastic level that it's like, oh my god, I want to go back and play it. Because right now I feel like many players that also enjoy Gotham Knights, if they've reached endgame status currently, are just looking for another reason to play the game. Because after a while, there's not much of a reason to go back to the game if you put 100 hours plus into it. But having this aspect here, a new villain, a new game mode, the new villain affecting the main game and also this game mode as well, it could be amazing. It's a recipe for success and an amazing game for the future, where all players will be enjoying Gotham Knights. And this also leads to other possibilities of future raids, future villains making a presence in Gotham Knights. And what major villain would you want to see next in Gotham Knights? Tell us in the comment section down below, I'd love to know. And there's always a discussion that Gotham Knights isn't a live service game, and I understand that, but they do have a form of expansion, DLC, and updates. It's pretty much close enough to a live service experience. And if there's a possibility to receive future game modes in the 4-player co-op experience and also in the 2-player co-op experience, that'll be amazing, alongside new DLC characters to play, new Gotham Knight characters to choose from and level up and get their gear to legendary status and to get all the abilities on them, and then use those characters in a 2-player experience versus the main bosses or case files, or just going through a free roam experience in Gotham Knights. And then alongside that, placing those same characters with new builds into the Heroic Assault game mode and versing STARRO and other major villains. This seems like a very fun time for future content and endgame content for Gotham Knights. Sadly, this isn't all available right now, but will be available in the future. So later on in the timeline of Gotham Knights, the game will just get better and better. That's pretty much how I see the direction going if there's support for the game ongoingly throughout the years to come. So I'm very eager for all these future changes to appear in Gotham Knights because it just gives me a reason to go back and play the game and enjoy it, as these crazy DLC events do happen in the game. That is something I would love to see. But mates, tell me your opinions and thoughts in the comment section down below, and what would you love to see? What parts did you like about this video, highlighting Gotham Knights overall and the future state of Gotham Knights through updates, DLC, leaks, whatever it may be? Tell us in the comment section down below. I'd love to know. And also, there's still a chance that this DLC maybe doesn't come out, so leaks could be 100% true or false, but I feel like this is a pretty on par leak, to say the least, especially appearing in the game. And this was a really fun episode, but as always, mates, it's a pleasure to have you guys on the channel as we go through this, and I'll catch you, mates, next time. Bye. Road to 200k subscribers. Let's get it, mates.